Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. We're so excited. We are actually starting our Christmas planning tonight. We are going to have this wonderful display of senses for our Christmas celebration at First Congregational Church, United Church of Christ. Becky, do you want to say anything about that? Becky does not. But there'll be stuff coming out by email on our web page in a bunch of different ways, our newsletter. So one of the plans for our Christmas is for all of us at home to make similar Christmas ornaments. And this year, we have decided as a staff and as a council to make pomanders. Pomanders get their roots, as far as we know it, back to the 13th century. And we have art and literature that shows pomanders being used. There's actually a portrait of a Venetian woman who has a belt of them. And how they started was during one of the plagues as a way of adding sweet aroma. As the time progressed during the medieval era, it became a thought that these things would ward off evil spirits. So the roots are the plague and the smell of them and warding off evil spirits. Just so you know, that if you actually take a slice of lemon and you put clove in it, it will keep flies away. Flies don't like the smell of clove and lemon. And I always thought that the flies were kind of evil, but that's just me. The word pomander actually means apple of amber. It was first known to use oranges, and then later on they would make these sachets with gold and silver, intricate jewelry that they would fill with petals and potpourri and carry actually nosegays of these pomanders. So if you were in the street and something smelled foul or vile, you would put it to your nose. So we have a long history of pomanders. Later on in early Renaissance, the fruit and the clove actually was used in decoration for Christmas. Della Robbia's, beautiful Florentinian Della Robbia's with a bas relief in white bisque of mother and child or some sainted figure on a background of blue, and then surrounding it would be fruit. And that started the usage of fruit for Christmas decorations. In our colonial days, and Victorian days, we often used fruit. It was a sign of wealth, it was a sign of abundance, and it was a sign of joy. So what started as a good smelling thing during the time of the plague actually came to be a sign of joy and the Christ child, and a sign of welcome and a sign of joy. Christmas. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make pomanders. Now the way I do this is I usually start off with a lemon or an orange or a lime, and I put ribbon around it so you can hang it on a tree or around your neck, or use it as a belt if you want to feel like a Venetian woman of the 13th century. And for tonight's projects, we have the fruit, we have red ribbon, we have straight pins, always good to have straight pins, and some cloves. So the way I do my ribbon is really simple. I start at one end and I take a straight pin and I pin the ribbon to the fruit, the lime. And I draw a semicircle around the lime, and then I stick in several different types of, several different pins to make sure that it's firm. I do this maybe 4 or 5 different straight pins on any one half section, equilateral to each other, equal distance to each other. I'm just using all the wrong terms tonight. I don't know what my problem is. And then when I finish the one side, I do the other side. And I make sure that I hold it so it's even all the way around. Now, there's no right way. There's no wrong way. Some people may want to wrap it around the other way and tie a knot. Some people might want just to loop it around once. Some people may want to do it in different colors. It's all good and it's all right. There is no incorrect way of doing this. And so when you are finished with one side, it cuts it all the way in half. What I normally do is then I turn it a quarter of a turn and do it the entire other halfway. And stick the pins in. You don't want to use too few pins because if you use too few pins, they might pop out and the whole thing might fall. So it's always good to play it safe with a couple extra pins. And then back again. And then when I get done on this one side, what I just do is cut a big loop and back pin the loop to the lime or the lemon or the orange so that you have a way to hang it on the tree. Our hope in the church is that so many people do this that we actually video everybody coming to church with as many as these as they want and put them on the tree, and then we're going to time lapse it. So our entire congregation will decorate our Christmas tree this year, all apart, but all together. So then I take the loop and pin it in. And there you have it. That simple. Looks good, huh? Now, sometimes for oranges, what I do is I do it around again and cause more stripes, but that's just the way I like to do it. And then the fun part begins. It's putting the cloves in. So the best way I have found to do this is to take a pin with a nice comfortable head and to punch a hole in the orange, see where the juice comes out, and then stick a clove in that. Oh, that's going to be hard. Stick a clove in that hole. Now, you can use a lot of different things to put, hey, Amy, you can do a lot of different things to put the hole in the orange or in the lime or the lemon, but I found the pins are best because if the hole is too big, the clove will fall out. Or when it starts to dry up, the cloves will fall out. So if you leave just a pin prick, and then pull it out and stick the clove in, it's going to take a little work to stick the clove in, but it will stay. Now what happens after we cover, or like this side I have, design, and this side I've sort of covered it. This side I've sort of put a design. What happens after a while is that the spices preserve the fruit, and when the spices preserve the fruit starts to dry, and it will become hard. It will not rot, and you can literally hang this in your closet or in a drawer for years, and they'll still have this wonderful smell of clove and citrus. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to cover our fruit with cloves, and then we're going to hang them on the tree. They're going to put out this wonderful scent. They're going to have this wonderful, vibrant color. It's going to remind us of how we're connected to the past and bring a sense of joy. And then afterwards, the church will literally smell divine for a long time. After Christmas is over, we'll invite people to the church to come get their pomodors if they want, and they can bring it home and they can use them in their house to scent their home, to scent their kitchen. But I always use it in my closet. I just love that smell. So there you have it. From fruit, citrus fruit, to ribboned, to starting to stick the cloves in, to an ornament for a tree at church. Great job, Becky. Great job. Any questions?